Hey everybody, it's your boy Zero here for another gunpla review. In today's episode, we're going to cover my 200th build. That's right, I've built 200 gunpla at this point. Well, minusing the one or two that are not gunpla, like the LBX thing I got for a holiday, the Kamen Rider one I got for a birthday, and the one, the Ghost Mark II from NAME. So, technically, but yeah, I count those because they're robots and they're kind of awesome. So, except for the Kamen Rider, but you know, that's splitting hairs at this point. So, 200 models. I built 200 of these. I could literally say they have consumed 2/3 of my room, which is pretty neat. So, I decided to pick a gunpla that I have not built anything from that line at all. I've never built anything from the Impulse line until, now. So, today's episode is going to be the Sword Impulse Gundam from Gundam Seed Destiny. And I have to say, I've only built maybe one other mobile suit that has a core lander system in it. And I hated that one. This one, not so much. Not a fan of it. But I'll go into detail later in the video. So let's just get to the fun part and let's review this moderately cool mobile suit. Okay, so this is the Sword Impulse Gundam with everything that comes in box. So, there's a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Here is the stickers, the water slide decals, and the rub-on decals. The optional backpack situation here. This is pretty much if you don't want to use the core lander, or the core splendor, if they call it in this timeline. It's a core lander. I don't care. I'll call it what I always call it. Core lander. The minifigures of the pilots, because this had two different pilots, the original pilot and then the one who replaced them. Unlike a lot of master grades, when it comes to it has one hand and or it has one hand with swappable fingers, or just one hand and you have to hope that the hands fit. This dude came with two sets of hands. The regular hands, the regular Gundam Strike Revive, the 3-finger situation, the swappable fingers. We got the regular old school master grade fingers, the 3 fingers and the index that can move, and the thumb that can move. So yeah, they decided to change that in this situation to that and 2 holding hands. So it's just like a high grade. You pop off the fingers, you put the weapon here, you close it back up, you can hold the weapon. The plane for the silhouette flyer for the backpack. A stand for that. A literal butt ton of effect parts for the beam weapons, since it is a sword. So the boomerang beam effect for both of them. We have 2 of those. 2 beam sword effects. If you change the tip of it to the beam effect, you have that for more of a stabbing situation. A bunch of stand adapters. Stand adapter. Technically, it's more of a table adapter for the core splendor. Wheels. We have a bunch of landing gear for a bunch of the different parts of this thing. Another base part. Base adapter. Base adapter that's flown into the void. Oh, found it. Oh, hold on. Let's get a better lighting. Boop. There you go. Another base adapter. Landing gear. More base adapter parts. Missiles for the core splendor. So, yeah. We have a lot here. So, let me go on my little tirade rant against this. I don't know, because I really didn't watch Destiny, so tell me if I'm wrong. Did anyone ever shoot the 3 parts that make up the Impulse, out of the air? At all? Because every video I see, it's just the chest flyer, the core splendor, and the leg flyer, and whatever silhouette pack they have, flying unabated in the air, and, no one ever shoots them down. It's the Soul Bird situation all over again. It's like, you see this thing, why isn't anyone shooting it? Because if I was Kira, I would have seen that thing and gone, alright, boom. No more problem. But that's just me. I was not even a huge fan of the pilot of the Impulse Gundam, but still, it's a matter of fact of, it is a flying 3-part mobile suit, and why hasn't anyone shot it down? Does it have a barrier that protects it? I don't know, but it's just so weird. Okay. That was just my rant. I had to say that because it always bothered me when I saw it. As you can see, now let's get into the stuff about this. So, while it does have a gimmicky transformation, it did sacrifice because it is a little off balance on the ankles. So it does either lean forward or lean backwards. There goes one of the beam swords, or Excalibur as they're called. And the nerdy means like, really? You can't, I guess, because the sword that I think the Destiny has is called the Erendite. Get it? Excalibur, King Arthur's sword, Erendite, Lancelot's sword. Zaft was not creative when it came to naming these giant beam swords. So, yeah. So, when they added the whole, this can become a flyer, the midsection become a flyer, the thing inside the midsection becomes a flyer, they did sacrifice for some, posability here. You got some more and then some less, integrity. So, you have to be careful. Like I said, it does tip forward or backwards, depending on where you're placing the specific weight. If you get lucky, you'll get somewhere in the nice zone, but most of the times you're getting one of the other angles. Also, when I was pulling the swords together, I had a habit of having the blade upside down so it wouldn't lock in properly, so you have to be careful when you're putting the sword together. But that's at least me. I could be wrong. Also, the two swords can combine into, the twin blade thing they do, which is pretty neat. But yes, so you can separate this into the 3 parts that make it. So, for the sake of, transparency, I'm going to do it. Here's a silhouette flyer. It's not in the silhouette flyer mode, but hey. Here's the core flyer. Pop that off. Pop that off. There you go. So this is all 3. I'll switch the Coral Splendor back into plane mode. Pull that out. Pull that out. Pull that out. Bam. If you want to be 100% the Coral Splendor, you can attach these missiles back to it, because they have a little plug right here that attaches to right here. And of course it does have the landing gear like I showed you, but I am not going to try to put the landing gear on all of them because that would just take way too much time. And I'm not going to bother you with that much minute details. So here's the core Splendor. I keep calling it the Core Lander because that's really what it is. Or the Core Flyer. Again, same thing. So yeah. Again, the idea of a Core Lander, Core Splendor, whatever you want to call it, is reasonable, but it's also incredibly stupid because, again, I would have shot, if I was a pilot in the middle of a battlefield and I see this thing flying, I'm going to shoot it. With that being said, you can replace this with this. At least according to the instructions, because this is supposed to allow you to use the other striker packs, like the Freedoms, well, not the Freedoms, the Strikes backpack. Pretty much anything that's a striker pack, you can use this piece in lieu of this. But it still plugs in the same way. You put that here. You put that in. You do that. Ta-da. So now you can use different striker packs on this dude. So, if you want to do a custom build with like a new striker pack, you actually now have options. Also, be careful when this part is loose, so it could pop out on you, because it did that with me several times during the building process and post. So, like I said, be careful. So let's do some articulation. As you can see, that's the arm fully bent. And to make it easier without the shield, there you go. That's the arms all the way up. Not bad. It's because, the whole transformation into chest flyer gives it a little bit more posability. The armor schneiders are in here. The hand switch is the same as, again, most high grades. You pop this off. Pop that in. No big deal. Well, be careful, because apparently this part was still behind. So, yeah. Be cautious with that. I mean, it does have the peg in here to hold the weapons, so you may not have to do it, but if you want a sturdier hold, I guess I would recommend using the spare hands they gave you. Like I said, you have options. It has a meh ab crunch with either the Core Splendor, or the spare backpack. So you have that again. I mean, technically this counts as articulation. There you go. Heads on the ball joint, so you get a little better rotation, but it's very tight, so be careful. You don't want to break anything. And this part, the white part, the whole thing's white. Sorry. The nape, like you're in Attack on Titan, it's a little wider than the base here, so you gotta be careful. It does get stuck. The gun attaches to the back skirt, like that, because this little peg right here fits into there. Again, you can hold it in the holding hand, or you want to plug it in, or the regular hand. You can do either one. You have the option. You got a decent leg bend. And of course, the knee bends two different ways, forward and back, because, again, it's supposed to transform into the leg flyer. So, again, options. Alright, so I'm going to switch back the Core Splendor back in, so we can wrap up this review. And I can put it on my master grade shelf. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the summary. Okay, so other things I did not cover, but I will explain now. Be careful, the back is loose here. These things are delicate. They will fall off if move too much. Be careful with that. The shield, while cool looking and does have a neat gimmick where you have it splayed out, doesn't really adhere to the 3mm plug right into the armor piece right here, so it does fall off on you. So there's a lot of problems. I get where they're going, you gotta do the whole gimmick for the show, but jeez. I believe one person said it best. I should be able to buy the model kits if it's in the 3 separate pieces or completely whole, and I don't have to deal with that gimmick. Because the transformable gimmick, hold on, let me put back on the light, there we go. The whole gimmick of it being able to transform into 3 different flyers has caused some structural integrity issues, which kind of flaws it. It's not bad by any means, no, don't get me wrong, but you got to be delicate with this. And no, I'm not saying it's because I just don't like that Gundam, but I am saying it's because it is a bit flawed. It could be a little bit better. I do like the colors. It does have a cool design. But the knees are literally so loose. But again, the whole being able to transform and move goes with it, and it causes some pieces to be inherently looser than the others. Like, you don't really have much of an ab crunch because your entire midsection can be removed and replaced. thus causing it to literally be very weak around the midsection. That backpack is tight, but not too tight, so you can, transform it so it doesn't have to adhere correctly to the full torso. Again, a lot of little issues. So, would I recommend this? Like I said, if you enjoy the Impulse Gundam, all the forms of it, yes. Mostly for completionist's sake. If you like Gundams with really interesting swords, yes. I would recommend it. Again, I do have the Destiny Gundam for a reason. Because I do love the swords and its wings. So, personal bias there. Like, other than that, if you like Gundam Seed Destiny, I would recommend it. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching. And yeah, this is my 200th Gunpla, or 200th model, to be accurate. On a more positive note, well, besides then I hit 200, I finally was able to get my Holy Grail on Gundam. The Testament should be here in like 2 weeks, which makes me incredibly happy. I haven't decided what another huge Holy Grail item I'm going to get next. Maybe the high-grade Toto Shredder, or maybe the EX Impulse Gundam, because that just looks really cool. Or most likely the full mechanics Barbatos Lupus Rex, because that's the closest I'm going to get to a Master Grade Barbie Lupus Rex, because, I have a Master Grade Barbatos, full mechanics, Barbatos Lupus, and I need the Rex, so I have all three. That, and I need the Rex because it's the closest thing, again, to Master Grade we have of it now. But they can keep releasing the Wing Zero. Sorry, that still kind of bugs me. So, Friday I'm going to do my custom build, the Titan Gundam, and next week at this time I'm going to be doing the Gundam aerial rebuild. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.